Hello, Internet. How are we doing this morning? Just doing a couple quick last minute tweaks. Getting the voice channel opening up. Going. Alright, that looks like it's there.
Hey,
Good morning, good morning.
what's going on?
Not much, just kind of getting there. It looks like a mouse is giving me issues. Might have to clean it later.
Oh yeah, that good old mouse cleaning. Back in
Yeah.
the day. Dip the ball, get the dust, mess with the wires, and boom, got a new mouse.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, I was sitting there trying to add in another light so I can get a little more light around here. Because this particular group of minis has got a lot of small detail. So
Okay.
kind of want to make sure I can see what I need to see. Something like that. Something to that. Anyways, how you doing this morning, Rye?
I'm good. Just doing schoolwork. Just working through it. I'm not trying to blaze through it. You know. Read the one book, taking a mental break. Got to read this other book.
Yeah,
And then I got to do a proposal for our independent research because it's a blend of 400, 500 students in the class. So the 500 students, the master students have one additional assignment for throughout the year, which is this independent research. So we just got to do a proposal of topic of interest related to the teaching of writers. So
that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm a little tired this week. It's been a long week.
Yes, I can understand.
But other than the fact it was long in like one particular day. I actually was up pretty much 24 hours. I was a couple hours shy of it, but I've okay, so about 20 hours straight. Let's be real. But yeah. Other than that, been pretty good. Game sessions and everything, and then actually did some prep work prior to this morning on the minis I was gonna do. Didn't go quite as planned because you know somebody decided to order snow in the area, and that's just like, why? I mean, I'm trying to paint stuff. I'm trying to like do things where I've got to step outside to prime things, and it's cold and it's stupid. But
oh yeah, it decided to snow. I heard it might snow today. I haven't looked out the window, but
it looks like it snowed a little bit, but then it's raining now, so all the snow is going away, and so it's like, meh. If anything, this is just proof I need to get my shop put together so I can make a painting booth so that I can prime in a much better environment than what I've got right now.
Yeah.
We will see how that goes. And hey, good morning in the chat. You're in the chat, give a shout out, say good morning. Hope you have your coffee, your brunch, your bagels, whatever you do at this point in the day, at the time zone you are in. Much love and appreciated. But yeah, it's all the fun. So gonna dive right into the mini cam and kind of see where we go from there.
Sounds like a plan. I did reach a milestone in Cyberpunk on Friday night.
Oh, really? What was that?
I hit the final mission.
Okay.
You know, once you hit that mission, it's like because I got to the building and it says once you do this, you can't turn back. It's like, oh, this is the final mission. So I'm going back and working through all the side quests.
See if you can be legendary.
Yeah. But I have I have come across some interesting stuff in the game. I have managed to uh, I managed to get Johnny Silverhand's car. I managed to get his gun. I have upgraded my melee to where I have blades on my arms. And
so you
I
got
found
you went the route of the
the Python, not Python. What the heck is it? Mantis.
Yeah, you went the route of the Mantis blades.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I just accidentally I was walking to another mission and I found something else, this dead body, and then this gun called Skippy, which is an AI gun, artificial intelligence gun, which you can set it to kill mode or not kill mode. I set it to kill mode. So when you shoot, it automatically aims for the head. So it's a headshot automatically.
That sounds like cheating.
Yeah. But the gun is not OP. So it just, instead of because it says you can set it to where you're only shooting the extremities, so you're not hurting the person as much. But I was like, no, headshot. But I'm not using that gun because I have another higher grade gun. So, but the fact that I got Johnny Silverhand's pistol in his car is pretty awesome.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, but yeah, I haven't had any real issues with the game since that big major patch that dropped.
Yeah, I've actually gone back and went a little old school and picked up because I've got a bunch of my friends' old games and picked up the Uncharted series and starting to work my way through the first Uncharted game. Oh. I think I'll just... So that's
I do have the Uncharted games.
That's
I think
been a
on
thing
the
this week.
PS4.
Again?
I said I do have. I know I have either the Uncharted collection or Uncharted 4 through the PS Plus on PS4. I just haven't gone back to play it. I might do that since I didn't realize I'd get to the end of Cyberpunk this quick. But I do remember it saying the story is short, but it's everything else that's not. So.
Well, I just wanted... I really enjoyed the Uncharted franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a nice kind of combination platformer action game. And it was like, okay, this is up. Let me, because I've only played the third one.
Yeah.
So, and and that was enough for me to really fall in love with it. And I've watched the playthroughs on Gamer's Little Playground. And it was like, okay, this is cool. So it was like, all right, let me go check this out and kind of work through. And I'm at a point that I'm really kind of frustrated out right now because you have to try and get through this group of enemies. And it seems like if you don't go fast enough, you get picked off. And trying to figure out the methodology because, there's no health or anything. You have to find cover and wait for your health to come back before you can progress forward. So I think it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I have played a game and then hit a wall and then not come back to it for a little while, and then I did. That was what was it? Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Yeah,
when you got to when I got to the first boss fight, I could not get past it and I was getting too frustrated, so I put it down. And then eventually came back, I beat that, and then just blazed through the game. So
well, that's cool.
that game kind of, it's because I was trying to, I wasn't really strategizing, that boss. I was just trying to just wing it. I was like, okay, so I reinvented my gaming strategy when I was playing that game, being more methodical.
Yeah, I think that's what I have to do for Uncharted as well. I'm looking forward to it, actually. I may go back to it this afternoon after we get done here. But, of course, I'm playing on PS3 because, I don't have PS4 yet.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait till I get my hands on a PS4, but that'll be later.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, like we talked about on the podcast, the prices will drop eventually.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt of that.
But yeah, I am working around the city doing other stuff in Cyberpunk.
That's always good.
So, but it's good because from what I read, I didn't read too much into the ending, but I know that doing a lot of the side quests have a factor in that final mission. So that's why I'm going back to make sure I'm hitting up the major ones.
Interesting.
And I can, yeah. Because I looked at it and I was like, let me look online because it's like 5 different endings or so far, or at least 5 different paths.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of paths in that. It's really kind of wild.
But what I read is that depending on the side missions that you do will have an effect on the choices that you have. So that's why I'm going back. And then I'm seeing the story, like outside of the, CD Projekt Red being, hit hard with the glitch issues, which understandably so, they admitted to what they did. But when you're playing through the game, the story and the characters are really rich. It's not just excess just to have access. Everything has purpose.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Hate for it to be a series of games where it's like, oh, I have this thing. It's like, why is this here? I don't understand.
Oh yeah, like you get down and hearty real relationships with the characters. So, like my mom came in the room yesterday and was watching. It's like, oh, that's a game. She thought it was a show, just because there's a lot of conversational elements to it.
Oh yeah, I mean, remember those old school PlayStation ones when you first were watching, like when they did like Uncharted 3, where it's like the bits where it's like talking about how it's like they're some of the games now are like watching cinematic experiences.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of talking in the game. I mean, there's a lot of fighting, but it's interactive.
Yeah,
that's what I told my mom. She was like, "Who's talking? I hear somebody talking."
Yeah, you're thinking it's all just explosions and everything else, and it's like, no. There's more to this. There's definitely more.
Oh yeah, you definitely have some good. If you come across it, I don't know if you will, but there are some romance scenes with certain people in the game.
Oh yeah, totally.
If you come across it, it just depends on what you decide to do in the game, because everything has a choice. That's what I really like about this. Same thing is the reason why I fell in love with Witcher 3, is like every conversation has a purpose.
Yeah.
So goldness. Gold. Looks like bronze gold.
Oh, for what I'm currently doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a heavy skin tone. Figure thinking like, not all orcs are green. So try to mix it up. So it's kind of I'll do half with green skin, half with the heavy skin tone. And just kind of see how that kind of looks in there as I try to work my way from the skin areas into the chainmail bits and then into some of the other bits. Kind of see how that plays itself out. And the fact that I have this green base coating really kind of adds a nice little adds a little tone and depth to the paint job.
That is good.
Nice chill day, kind of relax, paint thin, and
it is. This is a very chill day, even though it's raining. It's just kind of chill.
I like chill days. Chill days are relaxing because then it's like get some stuff done, see what's up.
Yeah. It's like I can. I'm not trying to like rush through the reading stuff. It's good stuff. It's like I'm intrigued by it, but I'm not like stressed to get it done quickly.
Yeah, I
I
gotta
have
get some
nothing
reading in
going
this
on
week,
today, so it's like, well, this is it. And it maybe I'll work on my review later today. Right now, it's getting through the school assignments.
Oh, okay. So you got your movie in for this week?
Yep, it's that Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, Rami Malek crime thriller.
Okay.
One of the ones that are part of that series, the Warner Brothers movie slate, where they're releasing both in theater and HBO Max.
Ah.
So The Little Things, that's what it was called. It's a crime thriller. I will leave my thoughts for Tuesday's podcast, but I am dancing with my thoughts and the pros and the cons, and give either a favorable or not favorable review when I start writing.
Oh, we'll find out on Tuesday or when you post it.
Oh yeah, but that's my writing. Like I don't really, I'll juggle with the pros and cons in my head, and then once I start writing, I'll get the feel of what I actually did. I really enjoy it or not?
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, it's on HBO Max, so I'm gonna check it out. It's up there. The second you boot it up, it's right there on the ticker. When they do when they always show off the new content or stuff.
Yeah.
Right there, boom. They're like, new movie.
Yeah, go watch this new movie that we just dropped. I don't know. I've still been kind of watching stuff on all the theory craft about Godzilla vs Kong that's coming out in March. It's like, and all that buzz is going to be such a thing.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am still debating in my head if I'm going to the theaters to watch or not, because that seems like a movie I want to watch on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is the epitome of a big screen movie right there. Like,
yeah,
interesting
to see.
I always have the fallback. I can watch it on HBO for the 30 days that it's there. So.
Oh yeah. These Reaper minis are really cool, but like it's hard to get I could tell I'm gonna have a lot of issues because I can't see the faces very well, even with my glasses. Is it because the
designs are a little more intricate?
Yeah, it's very intricate, and even with my glasses, I can't see them very well.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm trying to do things like add some more light to my area. This is kind of a makeshift painting area so that I can stream and handle the production stuff.
Understandable.
And this little light I just turned on is nice. It's a little Walmart kit light, but the problem is it shuts itself off after a while. So it's like, you can just imagine, it's like, okay, when do I use this? When do I not? Try and get some of that. I mean, you could tell, I mean, just looking at this, the fur in the hide there, and then the chainmail, I mean, that is really cool level of detail.
Oh yeah, it does. I like the intricacies does add that depth. So once you add the colors, it'll even pop it out.
Yeah, it would be wild. But I've got some gunmetal I'm gonna do for that. I may dry brush it with some copper or some tin. Trying to think about, okay, what's kind of what kind of story are these guys telling? So I'm trying to think about that as I pick the colors and think about, okay, what's the story for these guys? Of course, working my way out from the bottom
colors
layers
always
to the top layers.
Yeah, colors always help provide some kind of backstory.
Yeah,
or at least start a pinpoint of a story.
Yeah,
like they experienced this because of blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Did you check out the latest episode of WandaVision?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that
Oh,
was great.
I have thoughts. I have contemplations.
Contemplations.
Yeah, I am excited because I'm not gonna say if I liked or disliked the episode, but I will say
I enjoyed the
because I know
episode. I'll tell you
because I
straight
know
up
we'll
right now,
yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, I did, but I'm gonna leave the conversation for when we talk about it more in depth.
That's fair.
But when I watched the episode, I loved how what I love about this series and the fourth episode even exemplifies the fact is the genre bending that they're doing, and also the fact that they're at the same time answering questions, creating more at the same time within that same answer, and it's so great and just so organic the world is in the MCU, where they don't have to like force you to be like, here's this person, guess who this is, or this. Nope, they just kind of like it's just that world, and people come and go because of how they are either tied to certain organizations or people or all that good stuff.
Yep. Hey, Kit Mazzari, good morning. Yep. The smell of orc in the morning.
I can smell it too. But yeah, I love it because I'll mention this when we go into the review for the episode or summary. Is I loved how it went from a comedy, dark satire to horror in a matter of minutes.
Oh yeah.
Like this show is a straight up dark satire horror show.
I mean, there have been fan theories from there have been comparisons from the get-go to an old Twilight Zone episode where it's like this kid was like super powered and all these and had taken control of like this hotel or something and was making everybody kind of bow to his will and all of that. So there's been a lot of comparisons to that.
Oh yeah, and I love the inspiration they're pulling from House of M, because the fact is that people who aren't knowledgeable of the Marvel comics and the lore is that Scarlet Witch is one of the most powerful and dangerous beings in that world.
Oh yeah, totally.
And it's showcasing here, same way it showcased as in Logan what happens with a powerful mutant when they start to age, and we saw what happened in Logan with Professor X and what he did to the mutants.
I think it just is a testament to the fact that the Marvel characters have a lot more, or always seem more grounded than the DC stuff. Not that I don't like DC or I'm advocating.
Yeah, I enjoy DC, but I get what you're saying.
It always seems like things like this where it's like, what happens when they age? I mean, let's think about that. Let's think about when quote unquote regular humans age, things break down. I mean, and to think about someone who has such a strong like mental power to all of a sudden suffer Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's essentially Alzheimer's or dementia, and it's like that really does make it terrifying. So I think that's a great element they brought into it.
And the add on top of the fact, when you say grounded, they show the characters as they're not good or bad. There's not just you're fighting because of a righteous cause. There's always some kind of blend of morality. Mm-hmm. And I'll save it for our episode discussion, but like a lot of stuff that happened in the latter half of that episode, it brings into question what is happening. You have an idea, almost a complete idea, but you don't have a complete idea. That's what I love about the episode. It answered the questions, but it still left more questions, because it's like, okay, we know this is happening, but why is it happening? We might think that it is happening because of this, but what else is influencing it? And who else is going to come into the foray to help take this out? Because there is this WandaVision.
The fact that we keep talking, it's going to be great.
Yeah. And I know Paul Bettany, he did an interview saying that this show is not going to end. Is not going to end in a happy-go-lucky place.
No,
he did an interview recently.
To be setting up Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
So it can't have a positive resolution until after that movie comes out. I mean, let's be realistic. It can't. If it does, then it's like you're kind of ruining all the hype for Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah, and it places this movie
a couple weeks after the events of Endgame.
So that puts it before Far From Home too.
Yeah, so there's some stuff that's going down.
Oh yeah.
I'm
looking forward to the next episodes. We have 5 more episodes because it's 9 episodes. So
yeah,
an odd number, but it is an odd show. So coincidence? I think not.
Well, I like the fact it's like, here's a fixed number of episodes. Let's not try to do anything crazy. And again, it's showing a shift in television as a whole.
Yeah.
Where we're no longer worried about, these giant 20 episode seasons where you just are short, where you're causing a lot of burnout. Because, I mean, what are some of the biggest criticisms for some of those longest running shows that do like 20 episode seasons? The writer burnout toward the latter stuff. Whereas if you keep it to a fixed thing, it's easily digestible, and it keeps room for growth.
Yeah, the fixed number helps you craft a well-knit story. It allows you to breathe it and then set up for any future storylines coming forward.
Yeah.
Instead of just going and going and going.
Especially when we're talking the MCU and Kevin Feige, and it's like everything's connected. So it's like, yeah, shorter seasons is perfect because, hey, this film comes out, it does these things. Now we can see where these kind of pop up to assist that. I think that's a wonderful element. And I remember back when there was all the hype about the Dark Tower franchise, because when it was originally pitched, it was talking about, what we're going to do is we're going to do this set of film. We're going to do a film, and then to cover the first book, and then we're going to use the same actors, and we're going to do a television series that goes into a couple more of the books, talk more about some of the smaller stories, and then we'll come back to the next film for a big major event. Then we'll go back to a television series so that it all ties together.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of long-term approach for some show development is really creative. Granted, it sucks. It never quite got that far, but hey, it happens.
But yeah, it's like the one I just finished, Vikings. I just finished the last season, so the whole series. Like, they had a plan from the first season to the 6th season, and you could see it all coming full circle. Something that, I can deep dive into on our podcast on Tuesday, but it's you hit the nail on the noggin. When you have that plan, you're allowed, you can allow, when you have a set plan with writing a show, it allows more depth, because then you can plan out the future, depending on, ratings and money and all that stuff, but at least you would have the plan ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes me look forward to each Friday now. Like, there's a meme that I posted up on Instagram that talked about the 3 phases of watching WandaVision. It combined like 3 memes into one, where it has the guy with the confused look with the question marks, and then it has Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the screen, like, I know that and then it has a what the heck is his name? Daniel Day? Not Daniel Day. What is his name?
I don't know. I haven't seen the meme, so I couldn't comment.
No, I forget, but he's Charlie Day. And he's standing by that whiteboard looking like a crazy scientist trying to
Oh
explain
yeah,
everything.
the big conspiracy board gag.
Yeah, the conspiracy board guy. So it combined all three of those into one. And it's like the three phases of watching WandaVision. It's like, yep, that is. You're confused, then you recognize stuff, then you try to explain everything. You'll see it. Once you go to Instagram, you'll see it and you'll be like, yep, that is my mind every single episode so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Paul Bettany did drop in the interview that he is going to be doing scenes with somebody that he's wanted to act with for a long time, and he's like, there's going to be some surprises in the latter half of the season that people don't see coming.
Well, yeah, considering some of the casting has been really tight-lipped, like we don't know who's all coming.
Yeah, kind of like the same thing with Star Wars and Luke Skywalker showing up in the final episode. So
yeah,
they are tight-lipped. A lot of people are guessing Doctor Strange, obviously, because this leads into Doctor Strange, but there might be one or two other people that might show up.
They do. That's great.
I have no speculation because I don't know. Maybe it's if characters not even been part of the previous movies yet, but because of
there was
lore building.
One comment I saw somewhere, like the actress who played Dottie.
Yeah,
she had to get permission from Feige before she could announce being cast. Which since Feige's the head, that could be nothing more than what it sounds, or it could be she's got a larger role in the MCU, and for her character to be in WandaVision, it's going to be a big deal. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
And it's going to be interesting to see what happens with her twins. I think because I know what it leads to. I know what characters they're supposed to be, but
that's the beauty of the MCU. They tend to make you check your expectations out the door.
Oh yeah.
Kind of fun to be back painting Reaper minis again. Good
practice for the whiz. Very, very detailed.
Yeah, it is.
I like that. It's good.
Well, it's a different mold. It's a different mold process. It looks like, and these were ones that were a Kickstarter years ago that my buddy Derek left over here, and didn't have a problem with me painting and basing and all that because he figured they'd get more use over here in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And he never got into miniature painting. I think, as he said it, he was a little too OCD for that. Because it's like oh, he messes up one little thing, he'll like lose, get really upset, and it's like, that's the beauty of this. It's like, if you really, there's no real way to. I mean, there are ways to mess it up. Don't get me wrong, and I think that's a skill level thing. But to expect yourself to be perfect at it right out the gate is a little unrealistic to me. Like, I know I'm definitely in need of some skill development, but the only way I'm going to get the skill development is to stop being scared of it and just dive into it.
Yeah, practice. That's the whole point. Practicing anything, you're making a little stumbling blocks, but you'll make your way through.
Yeah. See where they had some issues with this because hands gripping this massive blade. make it work.
You will get it going. It will become alive.
Work. And I'm trying to go with the thing. It's like, look, this is for like a D&D game, so it's like, okay, I'm going to spend some time on it, but see if we can get them all done in a couple of hours. And kind of work our way through there. I think the blending of the green and the, because it was this goblin green and this heavy skin tone that I ended up mixing together as I moved through, and kind of getting that varying shades as it's mixed, I think is a nice bit there. Do next. I think we can do the weapons. Some of that gunmetal on the weapons. Camera frame there. It feels like I'm wiping soap on something. And all the little bubbles. Wild. game sessions this weekend went really well.
That's good. No crazy hiccups.
Oh,
like
no,
I meant other than story
crazy.
things.
There's definitely crazy. I mean, we're not gonna mince words on that.
But no, I mean like no technical hiccups. Everything was
technical wise. No, I think tech wise it went fairly well.
Okay.
Which is a bonus. I think story wise is where some things are definitely becoming interesting. And I've got a lot I've got to prep up for next weekend, because one of the shows going into this weekend, full disclosure, is I had some severe writer's block. Right? So I literally was like, I've got this huge bit of writer's block for what to do for one of the sessions. So I was like, well, this kind of thing is supposed to be collaborative storytelling, which means it's not all about me, not all about my vision of the story. This is about this is shared. So I went into the players. Went into the evening session with, all right, I'm gonna take some players sent me some notes for some of their stuff with their characters. So I looked at it, was like, you know what, I will try to use this, and I pretty much improv'd my way through the entire bit using some of those elements, trying to pace it to where it's not like taking forever, and allowing some more. And the players actually kind of really helped kind of push that a bit with their interaction, which was great. And it led up to some interesting kind of, all right, we'll see how this goes. And then of course the tricksters are great because they can introduce elements that it's like, all right, how do I use this? Like one of them got a wandering monster, and it's like, okay, how do I use this? Oh, I could use this to make this story a little more interesting from another perspective. Ooh, I like that. And then it was just kind of seeing how it goes from there. It was great because it was like, all right, now I have a story to kind of, I can flesh out some more. But,
yeah, that's good. Definitely, with the playing role-playing games, especially D&D, the characters involved help guide the story or put input, because characters all have different dynamics.
Yes.
So that'll strike up a different situation.
Yeah.
Each encounter that happens, and whatever the dice decide to do.
Yes, the dice are the true instruments of chaos. It is great because that kind of thing really helps to kind of break up the monotonies.
That's always a good thing. So onward to the next episode.
Yep. And it's like, all right, let's see what I can come up with for the next one. And then there are times that players do things where it's just like, I don't even know what to do with this. I really don't. I had one of those elements too, where it's like wild magic happened and a unicorn appeared, and it was just like, I mean, it literally was like, okay, this just broke everything. Like, what do we do with this? It's just like, and again, another one of those, it's like, all right, well, afterwards, I will find a way to use this for a larger kind of B-plot type thing, because I've been trying to work on my plotting and stuff like that, and this adds a nice element to that, because like, who's to say this doesn't happen in the world? So got like a fruit cake.
I understand hidden the writer's block. That's why Never went back to that other fantasy novel I was writing yet because I don't know what to do with it yet.
Yeah.
Like I have all the rules in place, the world built. It's just a matter of where I want to move the characters around and how.
Yep. I totally get that. Thankfully,
So-
though, I'm not in control of the characters.
Oh yeah, that's the good thing about playing the D&D is like you have you're the dungeon master, so you have the world and all this encompassing details, but the characters help maneuver it, which help build that story.
Yeah, the characters
'Cause then
shape
you
the
can-
world. I'm just along for the ride.
So you can navigate it and then add depending on what the characters do and the dice decide to do.
Yeah. Makes it interesting.
I might go back to that. I might change up some detail in that story, but it would be a while. That's a lot of depth. It's like it's on the it's on the pale of like all the other like big fantasy stories out there. There's a lot of rich world elements in it.
Yeah, totally.
So
Which is good because changes things up a bit.
and it keeps me constrained because I have to make sure if I'm writing something the way I'm writing it in the first book, it has the connection to the third book. Not like no like plot conflict. There will be plot holes. That's undoubtedly going to happen because human nature, But the one thing I've picked up on from all these other writers is like you got to have your ending in place so you can fill on the guts.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff going on.
Start with the axe and kind of think about that. Now getting colors on things are starting to come out, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I mean, this one looks like he's got his trophies on his shield there. It almost looks like this guy has some kind of like split or plate mail.
Yeah.
So they do all that in the gunmetal, and the other guys in more of like the copper and tin. Part of the detail loss might have been the spray primer I kind of pulled up in some spots. Difficult to see certain details.
So you sprayed ahead of time?
Yeah, I picked up a group of a couple of like same brand, same kind of thing, just different colors. And when I tried to apply the spray primer earlier this week, it's like it wasn't coming out very well. I made up a makeshift kind of spray booth just so that I wouldn't, because it had already snowed outside.
Yeah.
And it was like, all right, how can I get this on here? And this was a color I hadn't tried. This was a color I tried a little bit. And I was like, all right, let me see how I can use this color again. Kind of a testing thing. And it was like, oh, just it seemed like it came out way too thick. So some of the stuff was really kind of like, ridiculous. It could just be I'm thinking it's probably several variables in play on this. So it's a matter of, okay, trying to work through which variable did what and kind of go from there. A little bit of change. Little bit.
Get in underneath. Boom, ba-doom, ba-doom.
Not much, but there's just enough to tease. It's a tease. There it is. I think the rest of this is more like a leather. Take some. Through it in time, looking at the details
Little by little.
Yeah, little by little.
Green, gold, bronze, however the eye is seeing it.
I don't have all the metal paints yet from Vallejo, so I'm kind of like everything, working with what I got and then going from there. Of course, the goal is to get to the point where I'm messing with the Warhammer minis again. Got a few of them that need painting.
And then you'll stick it up on the board. Ready for war.
Well, the board is running out of room, so that's a whole nother headache. On the table behind me, I got the beginnings of a new terrain build. Thinking about trying to build like a multi-story ruined like building, and was like working through the design elements. And then before I start filming, getting too much into the filming.
Oh yeah.
So that and doing some more. I finally found some YouTube videos on how to use my video editing software, so I've been kind of walking through those, which is good because it's like, okay, now I can try to work on stepping this up. think the temperature's off because some of this primer paint is still sticky. I probably have too much on in places, and temperature hasn't been right for it to fully cure. And it's been a couple of days too, so that's even the worst part.
Green and gold, by the way.
Singing to yourself now?
Yeah. I'm staring at your painting and staring at this book reading. So.
Oh. Well, that's good. It's a good companion to read a book with.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting through the second book, or at least the chapter that I have to read.
Nice. I got a confirmation. I have an interview lined up for a guest to join us on the 10th.
Next month?
Yeah, 2 weeks from now,
Awesome.
basically.
Sounds good.
Australian podcaster.
Awesome. What does he do on his podcast?
Again?
What does he do on his podcast? Is it D&D stuff?
More D&D stuff.
Okay.
He chats about other D&D happenings in Australia.
Okay.
Be kind of nice, just somebody else to kind of hang out with and get another perspective on things.
It's always good to bring him in.
Go ahead.
I said it'd be good, bringing somebody, especially from down under, get a different perspective.
Yeah.
On things.
Trying to think about there's some other people I was just thinking about yesterday. I'd like to maybe try to get on as guests, either on the Tuesday show or maybe even look at doing guest hangouts here on this Sunday morning show.
Well, yeah, that'd be good. Definitely, you can get them on Sundays as well, because Sundays is more of a hangout chill.
Yeah,
it's a lively discussion. Of random topics.
It can be.
Oh, yeah.
Lively discussion while painting miniatures. Yeah,
The colors bleed through our mind. We warp through the rainbow, the psychedelic.
This dude doesn't look like he has a whole... he's got a little bit of chainmail on. That's about it.
He doesn't have as much going on like the other ones, but he's still
he's got the archery.
Something.
You can see there's like the chainmail under the fur right here.
Looks like he's about to hit something though.
Oh, yeah,
I am going to hurt you.
Oh, see this? It's like, yeah, this could be an interesting group for an encounter. fabric.
Get it in, get it in.
Gun mill. We got this hammered copper. That'd be good for some powder.
That's good.
Over to the brown and try and get some of the leather and the fur in.
Do.
In for all this work. One of the techniques I saw was like sometimes you put the brush down and then just kind of in an area close to where you're trying to get up to, and then just kind of push the paint into the.
Gotta go with the flow.
Move with the groove. Up on and try and keep a clean edge going.
Mm. So did y'all get a lot of snow over in Chesapeake? Over there?
A few inches, probably like maybe 4 or 5. There's quite a bit of snowmen. But I was on the set of a Doctor Who special. So many snowmen.
Yeah, that's we had quite a bit of snow, but it melted right away. The roads first, so
oh yeah,
I didn't have to clean out the driveway, so that's a plus.
Really cool. It's hard to tell if some of that is just the way that primer is on this, or some flaws in the mold from the injection mold. By the way, the sculpt is really cool.
Yeah, I do. That sculpture is pretty awesome. Ready to spear somebody.
Yep. You should have taken the time to treat the spear. The way this plastic is, you can use a combination of hot water and cold water. Not like, I mean, near boiling or whatever, and some cold water kind of reactivate the plastic so you can mold it, kind of get that tip to straighten out. But I think it's just, part of me thinks it's probably just a little too flimsy for that. I'm gonna press it. Mold is thickest. one. Whoa. Downside of this particular setup. Stable too much and the camera starts to go all wobbly.
It's the earthquake. Hide.
No. Been so long since we had an earthquake in this area.
Yeah, I will never forget that day. That day was interesting.
Yeah.
That was my first ever earthquake. I've never experienced, and I was a little confused.
First, people in California be like, "That's like a Tuesday around here, man. That ain't nothing."
It's like it went. It's in reverse. What we feel about hurricanes is what they feel about earthquakes.
Yeah.
Everybody's like freaking out. Oh, it's a hurricane! And then you see my crazy bud out there, no shirt, shorts, standing in the rain. Bring it on!
Reenacting your Forrest Gump scene.
Yeah.
Have a lighter leather for some of the fur, but I don't think I have anything. Work. Maybe if I'll probably mix some white. Maybe mix some bone white with the charred brown to kind of get a lighter texture for the fur.
It might help, bring out the character in the figurine.
Yeah, thinking the dark leather for like the under stuff and everything because it's that treated leather, and then you got these furry bits right here, and it's like a lighter color, something for contrast. Because I'm thinking if I put the charred brown on it, you're gonna lose it. It's gonna be all just charred brown. That doesn't sound fun. That's a whole nother challenge. Is I gotta figure out a base. Because right now I'm using like the you can get this blue stuff at like the dollar store or whatever for putting up posters without actually using thumbtacks and stuff, which is really nice for holding the minis to the stands I've got here. But putting them on like actual bases and use them, because I don't like these plastic ones that come with the injection mold. I really don't. And these things are so wide, they don't fit on standard 1-inch bases. Like I really enjoy the Reaper bases from my minis. Because I like the texture, I like the way it feels when they're on there and stuff. But these are just too big for it. And I put them on 2-inch bases, and bases seemed way too big. It's like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? I mean, I could probably get some milliput and stuff like that, and maybe like sculpt some stuff on there to kind of break it up, make it like little scenes. But kind of haven't quite figured out how I want to do it. Little bits of paint at a time to kind of my way through. Afraid to put the paint on the brushes into certain areas. mention this later in the chat, please, by all means, offer some suggestions. All for...
Drop it in, drop it in.
Drop in some comments, let me know. Always looking to try and improve my painting. Who knows? I got some good advice from good mini painters out there. Five painting minis, yay! What else are we gonna do on a Sunday?
I do not know. Run away.
You know, it's kind of a rhetorical thing.
Painting. Yeah. Get the paint in.
Paint some minis, relax, listen to some stream beats.
Yeah, that's it. just interesting, this class so far,
Oh,
because
really?
it nails down the idea of the aspect of writing, and how teaching and writing goes beyond just certain intricacies of the classroom, but getting to being, what's the word? I'm just going to use it because it's the only one that comes to mind. Being fluent with the writing portion, and struggles of applying it. Especially this chapter, I'm reading about how students that are ELL writers, English as the second language.
Okay.
Sometimes they could be fluent with reading and oratory, but writing it is where the difficulty is. And one of the strategies they're talking about in here is where they use their first language to help spark that voice, which allows them to find the words and the ideas to write in English. But at the same time, they're saying, it's saying that might not always be the case, because somebody who's fluent in their first language still isn't proficient in writing. So
yeah, I mean, writing is not as easy as people think it is.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
I mean,
so the whole
it's kind of like one of the downsides of like the students, and like, I want you to write this paper, and it's like, if writing takes a bit. I mean, some of them can be really kind of painful to read. Some of them, it seems like they can get the thing. And I love how every job application always has strong written and oral skills, and it's like, yeah, writing is definitely a challenge to meet.
Yeah, and it is something that is prudent, because the one thing my professor was professing is the fact that writing goes beyond just the ideal situation. So that's part of the independent research is she wants us to think beyond, incorporate things into the classroom that you think that writing teachers should bring out. And she's like, it shouldn't be stagnant to a certain curriculum, but the one thing that this is pointing out to is like you listen to what the students are doing. You don't structure. Everybody has a fluent in language and how they speak and how they write. It's finding that voice and allowing them to build upon it. I mean, typical. There's typical grammar and stuff and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to just writing, you allow that freedom to find their voice, then they can expand.
Yeah, and there's definitely something to that.
Yeah, and it's one thing that I fight in my head about where I want to teach in the future. Is it a certain setting or a different setting, depending on the standardizations of that area. So
what are we talking about? Rise thinking about leaving Virginia somewhere else?
No,
we talking the different,
not really.
The different
just
grade.
like the levels, secondary, post-secondary.
Gotcha.
No, I'm not leaving Virginia anytime soon.
What's up? Fuzzy sheets. What about fuzzy sheets? Oh.
No.
Oh yes, fuzzy sheets. Okay.
Fuzzy sheets.
What do you think? Nope, there's no picture. It's just a voice. It's a disembodied voice from the internet.
Somebody.
Oh, never mind.
Wow.
I see.
I'm feeling that too.
What?
I'm just giving you a hard time. Okay. I am an amateur. Working on learning a skill, putting myself on the internet to be in accordance with that. Take it for what it is.
That's how you work the skill.
Yeah.
You read about it, you apply it, you research it, you do it.
Oh, not a whole lot of reading on this one. This is literally, it's like, all right, I'm gonna kind of work these colors together and kind of see what happens, and looks good. I keep going. If it doesn't, then I move on. I move on to move in another direction, which I guess is just about everything in the creative process.
Yeah, you know, you look to see, you stumble, but the stumbling can lead to something bigger. Better.
Oh yeah.
So,
I mean, maybe I have an inherent eye for this, and I'm just now getting a chance to explore it. Who knows? But again, we'll see how we go in a year if I keep doing this. Areas.
paint it in.
"90 minutes in, and these guys are a long way to go still." Oh, what do you know?
Got a little bit done.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This guy's probably the most intricate. I think I'll save him for last.
Oh yeah.
Work on this dude. A lot of little bits. Bits I missed.
Eyeing. Eye of the tiger. Ready to fight. See, when you're like, this is the one thing when I'm reading certain things, like when I'm into it, I can get through it fast.
Well, I'm still learning, so it's like some of these stuff
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure. It's like it's
Yeah.
one thing to watch other people paint and listen to them talk
Yeah.
about the techniques, but it's something else entirely when you go to apply the technique, and the
Yeah.
fact that you still have to learn. It's that learning of, okay, this is how the technique is in practice, because one of the things some people you can tend to forget about it, like, oh, this guy's got such great technique and he talks about it and the result looks amazing, and then it's that, oh wait, he's already been painting, he's already spent dozens of hours painting, to where when he just picks up the skill, he's got the muscle memory to go with it. I think that's an interesting bit. And that's why it's like I don't feel confident enough to really go into a lot of how-to, other than I'm trying these techniques I keep hearing about, and I'm trying to see how I can apply them, so I can build up that muscle memory. You know what I mean?
Yes.
letting my subconscious run. Like, I may have these orcs show up in the Underdark, or you know, wherever, this little orc squad. I'm like, I kind of want to go into my D&D Beyond encounter builder and build these, but I have a feeling I can't use the default orc template. So sit there and copy and homebrew and change out some of the weapons and the armor to see, okay, here's how this orc squad really kind of functions. Add some parachute around again. Crevices.
One roll in.
What's up? Oh, Z, turn on the TV.
Learn.
All right, I got my Jeep back.
What, it was gone?
More or less.
With the white Jeep?
Yeah. Picked up
Where'd it
Marie's
go?
car. Picked up Marie's car yesterday.
Ah.
Now I have the
Oh, okay. Now I see what you're saying.
Jeep.
Light bulb just went off. Light bulb just went off again.
Gotta love that moment.
Yeah, because I was like, you got your Jeep back. I was like, wait a minute. I see the Jeep in the parking drive all the time. What are you talking about?
Well,
Yeah.
Marie's been using it using it for work, and now she has we picked up her car yesterday.
Okay.
But,
what is she moving around town in now?
You remember the silver cobalt Raph had? I don't know.
Yes. I think so.
Yeah, she's got that now. Bought it off the
Okay.
Raph for the price of repairing it.
Okay. What's what is there something wrong with it? Or
There
no,
was
everything's good?
some needed a battery. The tire the rods needed to be kind of tweaked a bit. So I was
Okay.
like, okay. So took it over to my brother-in-law. I guess you could say he's my brother-in-law now. I don't know. All kinds of stuff involved with that, but yeah, we took it over there. He got it all put together and up and going, and it was like cool. Now she's got a vehicle she can get to and from, and it opens up my prospects to try to find some additional work while working on the studio stuff.
Well, that's good. No, you're not just there. You can just okay. Let me go check this out.
Oh yeah, I can totally do that now. I can totally be like, hey, I want to go somewhere. I can go somewhere. Yay!
Oh, that's good.
It's the little things, you know.
Yeah, it's those little things that you don't
I had
realize
that interview this week
until...
too. And turns out the guy in charge, the guy in charge of the department I interviewed for, he actually potentially knew us from 2009 when he was over at Liberty as a seasonal. Eons
Okay.
ago. As he name dropped you. So it's like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. I mean, it's vague, but it's like, you know, that time there was so many things about trying to learn and people and shifts and everything.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
that was a crazy hectic world. It's like, do you remember this crazy angry Asian?
So, kind of wild.
Oh yeah. Far from the tech floor I am now, so.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel pretty far from it too. The interview was, oh man, that interview, I felt I bombed that so bad. Because there was some tech knowledge we were going over, and I was just like, I can't remember the words. Remember the concepts, and kind of went on instinct on some of the things, but I could not remember the words to explain what I remembered. So I was starting to feel very frustrated with it toward the end. But I tried to handle it with the whole let's crack a joke, let's have some fun. You know,
you can only be. It's like that's what.
Yeah.
I am. I'm open and honest in interviews. I answer the question as best I can, and then go from there.
Pretty much all. It's pretty much my whole thought process on this. It's like I'm trying. It's difficult, but I could totally was feeling that like, oh man, I just want to end this because I feel I'm doing horrible.
Yeah.
This is like, oh, so frustrating. I know it's probably not the most positive attitude for an interview, but that's just how I was feeling.
Well, you know, it's not everything is great in interviews. I've been a part of a lot of them. You know, some of them go great, some of them don't. It's just a matter of how the person.
Yeah, I think the big thing was like, you know what, technical knowledge, because I mean, IT is one of those things. It's like if you're not actively doing it, the stuff kind of fades because it's such a practiced skill. You know?
Yeah, that's what like I've been far removed from it. I mean, of course, the stuff what I work on is technology, influence, but I'm not in the nitty gritty of the IT stuff.
Yeah, like if somebody were to say,
That's
"Hey,
why-
can you tell me what's up with this IP and that IP?" It'd be like,
It's been a while, so it was like, let me dust off the cobwebs and see if I can reach for it. But that's what I tell people when they try to still come to me for computer problems. It's like, I'm going to put up front. I have not done this IT work in years.
Yeah. I haven't
So
done this
that's
in
why
a
I
while,
like-
so
Yeah.
I'll give you my best guess, but I'm really gonna have to defer you to somebody who's a little more practiced in it than I am right now.
Yeah, that's why I have updated a lot of stuff on my resume and profile. I've removed a lot of stuff because I don't practice it, so it'll just be pretty much lying. So
Yeah.
I was like, that's why I removed a lot of IT stuff from my resume that I don't practice or touch or even do on a normal basis.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna put on there what my relevant skills are now. So,
Yeah, I have a feeling I'll be kind of tweaking some stuff there too for mine. Like I haven't done this in a while, so can't really expect me to remember it. I don't know. I got a couple. I texted the recruiter and everything, and got a response back. Oh, you probably did better than you think you did. I'm like, okay. We'll leave that to your judgment and find out.
did they say they'll reach back out to you after your
Yeah,
interview?
they'll reach out to the recruiter. Let me know. I heard they had me being, a little bit of imposter syndrome and stuff, not based on how the interview went. I'm not exactly holding my breath that I'm going to get the job, but I still am trying to be positive and that there's a chance. Kind of see how it goes from there. That's kind of where I'm at now. I'm trying to stay positive and focus on other things in the meantime.
That's that's the only thing you can do, because like you said, you haven't been doing it for a little bit, so trying to bring it all back.
Yeah, it's gonna be
You know.
a thing, but I mean, I think it's also one of those things, like, you do an interview, part of the thing with the interview is how well you get along with the potential coworkers, like what's your demeanor and that kind of stuff. So trying to hold faith that technical skills can be relearned. Interpersonal skills, that's a whole different game.
That's the whole big thing with hiring, is like, does this person fit with your team? Something that over in Centera and Optima is one of the biggest things they try to find when they are hiring people. Do they fit with this team? Do they fit with these personalities? Because there's a lot of things that you can, you're not going to know all the details of what happens in the company.
Yeah.
It's a matter of, what are your basic skills? What are your social skills? What are your conversational skills?
Totally.
Every team dynamic is different. If you were to hire just straight up by skill, it might not be what you think it is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Q Health isn't up in the chat, saying, hey Scoob.
Hey Q, how you doing today?
But yeah, it's all a matter, trying to find the fit for the team.
Yeah.
Or that, I know that's the one thing they emphasize a lot over on the Optima side, is the fit for the team. And the balance with the skills and the knowledge that you have. Especially when it comes to IT. IT is different from company to company.
Right?
Yeah. Because I can tell, like... oh yeah, he just got home from services, so...
Oh, that's good. How was service?
How was the good thing you did in your service. I don't want to assume one religious thing over the other, but
Yeah.
hopefully it was a good service.
Most of them are pretty good.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think anyway.
Oh yeah. It is a matter of what it is. I meant when we were not posted, but before COVID dropped, I would go with Angelica to church with her and her family. She knows I'm not religious, but I do it out of respect because that's just the kind of person I am. I'll do things out of respect, even if I disagree with things. But I'll go there, and the church that we're going to was a church I grew up going to when I was a kid because my family's Catholic, so I'm very familiar with that church. So I'll go in there. There'll be times I'll be listening, paying attention. There'll be times when you can call it trigger words, and I'll just use that term because that's the only term that comes to my mind. I'll hear certain trigger words, and I would literally just tune out.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be staring, I'll be focusing, but I would not be listening.
Yeah, I think that happens with everybody. I haven't actively practiced in a while, and I remember getting into a discussion about it. It's like, I just have different beliefs.
No, I'm very upfront and honest. People, I tell people, I'm not Christian or Catholic, but I will never disrespect you. I will never hurt or harm you. I will never denigrate you. So,
well, I think that's one of those things we're really lacking in the country: the ability to have a disagreement.
Yeah,
and not let that disagreement ruin friendship. You know what I mean?
And I don't. The thing is that it always is the opposite way, where that other person who is religious can't understand the idea of tolerance if it doesn't agree with their terms. It's never because of me, it's always because of them. It's happened in the past, way in the past. I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to argue with you.
My little light is starting to die.
There we go. I see the designs. Yeah, Q, he mentions about resumes. As far as hiring folks, the resume tells about 30% of what I want to see. The interview is about 21%. The rest is a gut feeling, which I totally agree. I used to do, which Scoob knows I used to do the hiring for our team for about 3 years before I left.
Yep, you were on the hiring team.
Yeah, and I get that feeling because the resume, I have seen resumes as thick as Bibles and as half page. And then once you get into the interview, I did my research going in, and we had our own little strategies with interview questions and stuff I researched, and using that trifecta, I use that plus the gut feeling. It's all a matter of the camaraderie in that room.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say I was perfect, but I tried to. Who would work best with the system that we had and the people that we had?
Totally.
I don't know if I struck gold all the time, but I at least tried to make sure our team was good.
Oh God, we did not strike gold all the time, man. Come on, seriously.
Oh, yeah. I know that. I know that.
We had a few gems.
Yeah, I tried to find those people, but sometimes smoke screens are there, so.
Oh. Leather before doing the metal.
He said he taught an auditorium class of Genesis 12 through 14. That's awesome.
Awesome.
That is awesome. Great stuff there. But yeah.
Fuzzy on Genesis at the moment, but that's okay.
I wish my Sega Genesis was working and I could play some old school games.
But a bump.
Let's add the funny. Yep. I finished reading the other book, so I'm a mental break. It's only 155 too. The proposal on this, I'll have to think about it. I gotta go look at some articles later. I might even write it tomorrow. I don't know. Might tonight. Depends. But the thing is, once I start writing it, it'll be done in like 30 minutes.
Oh yeah. I mean, you've gotten the right. you're pretty good at the whole. It's like I think that's a lot of things. Is once you start and everything starts to flow, then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, I got this. Yippee.
So it's like the first is goals and objective. Discuss some questions you have or topics of interest related to the teaching of writers that you might like to explore as you engage in this project. Which I told you, it's all about the where is my sticky note? I am addicted to stickies, but let's see.
What's wrong with that?
Critical thinking, real world writing, finding voice in the classroom. So, that critical thinking and bringing that into the classroom with my experience in the real world and real world writing, that's something that I want to explore. Number 2, significance. Why is it important? What previous work has led you to determine that this is worth exploring? You might draw on research literature written by practitioners and or your own experience in the classroom to demonstrate the significance, which my experience comes in a training room because that's what I do. So,
go with what you know.
Yeah. And then the other one, research. Spend a little time exploring a couple of these journals to locate articles that might support you in coming to new understandings and about the topics in question. That's why I want to take a break before I dive into this stuff.
All right, I think my little light's telling me I'm about done for the day. I'm gonna have to recharge it because I don't have enough light on this desk. To be able to see all these details.
Scott jumped in into the foray.
Hi Scott, how you doing? Don't mind me just kind of working my way through these orcs.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll fill in. Go and eat some lunch and then do this research. Or look up some journal articles and just branch out what I could think of. Okay, I gotta look it up. Yeah, you should, if you get a chance, jump back into Cyberpunk. Better yet, you need to download Torchlight 3 so we can play.
That's right.
I'm going to keep badgering to the point of annoyance.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, well, I know I'm not going to annoy you because you'll just be like, you're just being yourself. I don't care.
No, it's I will get there eventually. Give me time.
Oh, I know you will. But,
sometimes I
haven't
just need a
started
little
playing
more time.
it yet because I don't want to, because Torchlight's that game where I'll start playing, I'll be like 30 levels in, and then you start playing, it's like, oh, I'm OP now.
Yeah.
You play the first one. Oh, I love, I don't know, Torchlight 2 is the one that I played. I never played the first one. I played Torchlight 2, and I played Torchlight 2 a lot. And I played it with Scoob a lot. We played that game like it was going to die.
Oh yeah, the first one, the second one, that's awesome.
Yeah, the second one we played that like it was like every night.
Oh,
when it was.
Yeah,
and then
I think I was just getting into Steam, and all of the things that go with that. But
I don't know the difference between 1 and 3, Scott. I haven't even played 3 yet. I just know it's on Game Pass, and me and Scoob both have Game Pass.
Probably a graphics thing at this point. I mean, we're thinking about the fact that the original Torchlight was a bunch of the Diablo developers that had moved on to kind of make their own game.
Yeah.
And kind of go from there.
Probably use the same cell shadedness that it had, but it's probably going to be more graphically improved.
I mean, it looks that way now from the way some of the stuff is. But here it is, 2 o'clock. My little light kind of died on me, so I have to charge it so that I can better see the detail on the minis. So that being said, I guess next week will be part 2 of the Reaper Orcs and kind of see how they kind of come up and grow. Thank you for checking this out, watching. Thanks, Rye, for hanging out with me today. Thank you in the chat for jumping in. It's all good. Finished book 7 this morning. Good job, Q. Good job.
Good job.
Can't wait. But yeah, you guys have a great week. Tune in Tuesday night for Scuba on the Rye, 9 p.m. here on YouTube live. And of course, next Saturday is our D&D sessions, Shadow Watch, 10 a.m. Eastern, over on twitch.tv/Scuba Studio, and at 8 p.m. Eastern, challenge accepted. And then we'll be back next Sunday for more Orcs and those kinds of things. If you like the content and like what we're doing, please consider going over to Patreon and becoming a patron. Get behind the scenes access, early access, even some Discord access as we're kind of working those things through. With that, have a great afternoon. I'm going to go play some Uncharted, and maybe I'll download Torchlight 3 so I can get Rye off my back, but I'll tell you more about that later. Have a good night. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Peace.